Hey guys, it's about 1 o'clock. I just woke up. I can't sleep. I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of anxious. And I woke up with this idea, this almost dream of somebody breaking into my house and coming in and stealing my teepee or my food or something. And I had this like anxious feeling. And so I get up and I see Catherine in the dark on her phone, like coming downstairs, and I'm kind of freaking out. And I see it's Catherine. And we just kind of laughed and talked about that. And she encouraged me, why don't you pray if you can't sleep? Which is great advice, Catherine. And so I'm praying, and I eventually felt led to open my Bible. And our church, Living Way, is going through Exodus. So I kind of was reading back in chapter 17 about some things, how Moses and the Israelites were doubting God. Even though God did so much for them and brought them so far, they had doubt when they went into the wilderness. And I feel so much anxiety towards doubt that I have to fight myself, fear versus faith kind of things. And I wonder if you're dealing with that too. So I wanted to just share a thought and a verse from chapter 17 in Exodus with you. Moses is traveling through the wilderness. They just left the wilderness of sin, and everyone's getting thirsty. The families, the livestock, everyone's like dying of thirst. And so they like come at Moses and they are like, have you led us out here to kill us of thirst? And we're going to go thirsty. Basically, Moses goes to God and says, what am I supposed to do? And God says, take your staff and take some elders in the church and go to this place, and I'm going to provide for you water where everyone can drink their fill. And he did that. And verse 7 in chapter 17 of Exodus says this, so he called the name of the place Massa because of the contention of the children of Israel, and because they tempted God, saying, is the Lord not among us? And so they have doubt because God, all the things he did for them to get them out of Egypt, to deliver them through the river and the parting of the sea, they still doubted that God was there for them. And I think that's how sometimes I feel, especially in this time of the coronavirus and losing a job, wondering what's going to happen with rent next month, and just the sickness going around. There's a soul note in my Bible that says the Israelites lived by sight, not by faith. Even though God provided daily miracles of food and water in the wilderness, the people complained and doubted his continued goodness. Isn't that something we struggle with sometimes? I know I do. The world says, show me and I'll believe. But God says, believe it and then you'll see it. If you are in a wilderness, if you're being tested or tempted, that word Massah that Moses called the place is basically the area of contention. It's known as the site of contention. And I think that's a good example or a good definition of how a lot of us might be feeling. It goes on to say, let's see, if you're in a wilderness or testing or a valley of doubt, don't question God's love because he's not answering you the way you want. Look around and recognize what God is doing and take heart. Don't doubt. Thought that was a great word for today. Hope that encourages you like it's encouraged my heart.